Imagine possessing an object capable of infinite creation. Now imagine holding that exact object as it suddenly smells of rotten eggs, sears your skin, and bursts into burning putrid black ash. This violent decay defies the standard rules of thermodynamics. Matter doesn't spontaneously rot and ignite at room temperature without a specific chemical or biological catalyst. The artifact in question is a simple wooden box containing an endless supply of sweet dough, a substance known to cure physical ailments. Yet, the second it transfers from one owner to another, it can transform from a miracle cure into a destructive hazard. This flowchart shows the artifact functioning as a closed feedback loop. The system reads the user's psychological state, their core intent, and uses that data to dictate the material output. To see exactly how this feedback loop functions, we have to look at the extreme environment where this artifact first appeared. We start in a village paralyzed by drought. The local economy is at a standstill. Here we find a street vendor named Gajendra and his camel, Bhola, struggling to survive in a state of absolute environmental and economic famine. Gajendra operates on a model of mutual symbiosis. Even when he cannot afford basic ingredients, he prioritizes his camel's survival over his own comfort, viewing their partnership as essential to enduring the drought. Across the street, the wealthy merchant Lalaram operates on an opposing model. He controls a massive, fully stocked sweet shop, maintaining a local monopoly while the rest of the village starves. This diagram maps the village's economic flow. Peripheral resources drain into a bloated central node, Lalaram's business. He extracts wealth without recirculating it, creating artificial imbalance. To him, empathy is an operational weakness preventing maximum profit, severing his connections to the community. Gajendra relies on an economy of mutual survival, while Lalaram has built his entire empire on parasitic extraction. Forced to rest in a barren wasteland outside the village, Gajendra unearths an ancient wooden box containing a single glowing piece of sweet dough. A divine entity appears to establish the system's operating rules. The box will yield an infinite supply of the dough, provided the user inputs a pure, selfless intention. If greed enters the equation, the reaction stops. Gajendra returns to the market and begins distributing the miraculous pastry for a single coin. The dough acts on the villagers, relieving fatigue and curing chronic pain, instantly challenging Lalaram's monopoly on food. Watching from his empty shop, Lalaram evaluates the situation. He sees Gajendra's success as a direct threat to his power structure. Under the cover of a moonless night, Lalaram sneaks into Gajendra's yard and steals the box. He treats this as a hostile takeover, aiming to control the means of production and cement his status as the village's sole provider. But Lalaram lacks the psychological profile required by the artifact. By forcing his ownership over the device, he subjects his own internal state to an uncompromising stress test. The next day, Lalaram drags Gajendra before the village council. His hands are bandaged from the burns, and he presents the putrid, blackened mud to the crowd as evidence of witchcraft. The village headman proposes a direct physical test. Have the accused interact with the corrupted material to see its baseline reaction. Without hesitation, Gajendra reaches out. The moment his calloused hand makes contact with the foul mud, a vibrant ripple of golden light bursts outward. The destructive ash transmutes back into fragrant, sweet dough. The moment Gajendra's intent re-entered the system, the artifact's feedback loop resets instantly. This graphic illustrates the box's internal logic. It functions as a mathematical multiplier of the user's intent. An input of greed results in corruption, whereas an input of symbiosis results in infinite output. Confronted with this physical evidence, Lalaram is forced to realize that the box wasn't cursed. His own greed was the sole destructive variable in the equation. Instead of demanding punishment, Gajendra forgives the merchant and integrates him into the cart's daily operations, turning a former parasite into a contributing member of the village economy. The artifact survives on this specific reciprocity. By maintaining his honest intent and supporting the community, Gajendra ensures the village's recovery remains stable and self-sustaining.